It is to be understood that among all the cows of Nanda Maharaj, several of Mother Yashoda's cows eat only grass so flavored that the grasses would automatically flavor the milk. So you can imagine, I always think of this Nesquik. This Nesquik flavors that you would get, strawberry flavors. I remember in Govardhan, many years back, about 20 years back, Gopi Paranadan Prabhu was the BBT Sanskrit editor. He used to live there. Wonderful, simple-hearted Vaishnava, but very knowledgeable. So he helped in translating the last few cantos of the Bhagavatam on behalf of BBT. There was a team, Hridayananda Maharaj as well, but he was one of the main editors. So one day, and because my Guru Maharaj has a house nearby there, actually almost opposite the plot. So when we would go there, we would go to his house for Bhagavatam class in the morning. And that time it was so early in the movement, so very few would just be his son, his wife, and 2 or 3 of us. We would go and sit because every morning he would have Bhagavatam class. So one day I asked him, Prabhu, what can I bring, from South Africa, something. So he said, nah, no need for anything. So I just, while I was packing for India, I just thought maybe let's take this Nesquik. So I took the Nesquik and I went, and when I gave it to him, he said, it's so amazing. I was actually thinking about this. In America, they have a different name for it. And yeah, you brought it, and I felt so happy that, Govardhan allowed me to serve his devotee that way. So he said, I'm going to make this, but I want you to come and share some with me. I'm going to offer to my Gopal Shaligram, and I want you to, he had a Gopal Shila from Govardhan Hill, Govardhan Shila. So he made the Nesquik on cow dung, on gobar. And he boiled the milk. They had a cow there in their property, on their land. They would have a cow as well. So it was so amazing to experience that. And he boiled that milk, and you watch how it boils. It boils differently on cow dung. It has a different way because cow dung is less heat but steady heat. So it boils differently. And then he added this Nesquik powder. He offered to Giriraj. And we shared, it was so amazing, that pastime. So Mother Yashoda's cows has this special 8 cows she has in particular, 8 particular cows that have this Padma Ganda cows, they are called. Padma means lotus and Ganda means scent or flavor. So they're eating ordinary grass, but lotus scent is coming out. Shoo! How is that amazing? So those 8 cows in particular give milk for Krishna. So it's the best of the best of the best. So, and she personally takes care of those cows, feeds them and milks them. So Krishna is so spoilt with the best milk in the land. So it goes on to say, Mother Yashoda wanted to collect the milk from these cows to make it into yogurt and churn it into butter personally. So this Vaishya community, cow pasturing community, this is how they do their activities. It's based on Kisi ko raksha vanena, on cow protection. So she personally takes care of these cows, and they churn it into yogurt because it's hot, so the milk goes bad. So quickly if you churn it, if you add some acid, then it becomes yogurt. And once it's yogurt, then again you churn. When we were in South India for some treatment at one time, we were in Mangalore. And at that time, we had to take yogurt every day. So we bought and we made it personally. We bought milk and made yogurt. And to churn it into butter is an amazing experience because It's not a matter of speed, but it's a matter of consistency. You have to keep the same speed, and you churn. It goes like this: left, right, left, right. So you churn the yogurt, and then on the rim of the container, the butter starts to collect. It separates from the yogurt, and the butter starts to collect from there. And that is more nutritional. That kind of butter is more nutritional than that comes from cream. This butter, yogurt butter, is much more nutritional. So it has even in Vrindakund, when we used to have Vrindakund, Dinabandhu Prabhu would do programs in Vrindakund, and we stay overnight. And in Vrindakund, then they'll have one yogurt churning to butter, one activity for everyone, how to churn. So many people rush it because it takes patience to do that. That's why they're singing songs, because they are busy with churning that. So that's why they're singing Krishna's Leelas. So in Vrindakund, you would then churn that butter, that yogurt. So we'll have turns, each team, only after a team of 8 people or so, then only some butter starts to come. You're wondering, hey, where the butter is? I'm churning, nothing coming out here, only perspiration coming out. But you have to be patient. This is everything, Nishchaya, Jairiyat, everything is Utsaha, Nishchaya, Jairiyat, Tat Karma Pravartanat. Rupa Goswami is saying you need enthusiasm, patience, eagerness. Yogurt and churn it into butter personally. Since she thought that this child Krishna was going to the houses of neighborhood gopas and gopis to steal butter, because he did not like the milk and yogurt ordinarily prepared. So, Mother Yashoda, every mother is concerned that their child grow up properly, be a good boy. We always tell him, be a good boy. That's a good boy. So that goes in the mind and enters the heart, and he gradually realizes, oh, I must be a good boy. Everything I do must be a good boy. And then as he grows, he learns that reputation carries a lot, especially in a community, in a society. Now, if this boy is going to be stealing from everyone as a child, what he'll do as an adult? So she was very concerned that, the family reputation, mothers are very particular about that. Make sure you do good, be good, see good. Don't do all these bad activities. So Mother Yashoda was very concerned that Krishna was doing this stealing activity, and it was not showing good on the family, because they have everything there. They have 900,000 cows. She has special cows that give lotus flavor milk. And still he's going and stealing at other places. Why he's doing that? So Mother Yashoda would make sure, that she personally makes it. Maybe they're not doing it right, she's thinking. Maybe if I give the maidservants to do it, they don't do it right. He doesn't like it that way. So she adds a lot of prema. The main ingredient in churning is prema, love. And we premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santa sada eva hridaya vilochayanti yam shama sundaram achintyam guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So we see that she's personally churning with love, and she's personally preparing these things with love. So it goes on to say, while churning the butter, Mother Yashoda was singing about the childhood activities of Krishna. So this is the description that Krishna gives, that my devotees, they're always satatam kirtayanto mam. They're always churning. They're not only churning the activities and butter and yogurt, also my pastimes. Because Krishna's, we know as children, right? Mothers, when you go visiting to aunties' houses and where there are different matriarchs of the family, then one of the things that will come up, hey, this fella, oh, Prabhupada would say, number one rascal, number one rascal. I was hearing one lecture, Prabhupada was saying this, Krishna is famous butter thief. He is famous. What is famous for? For stealing butter. Yeah, famous butter thief. So these are all ornaments, bhushanas for children. When children do these things, it's very, very wonderful to see. Especially little children, when they do this kind of activities, then the mother is watching what they're doing, what they're going to do. He's watching, and then they tell when the neighbors, how the ladies gather, kuch hotta hai. So, so when they do the kuch, and they're talking about all the different stories that are happening, then one of the leelas that come is, hey, but this fellow. And they start now, oh, my son, this fellow is doing like this, doing like that. And then gradually they become proud of it, like, oh, my son, I know also. So it's like that. It becomes more and more a joy for the parents to talk about the activities of their child. So Mother Yashoda and all the Brajbasis, especially Mother Yashoda, they are great poets actually. Kaviraj, king of poets. So they convert these beautiful pastimes into poetic stories, and they start to sing Krishna's pastimes. If you've ever heard this, you must go to some traditional Braj program in Vrindavan, or Nandagram has a lot of this, especially during Diwali time, Govardhan Puja time. Especially during Govardhan Puja, they have big activities there, and you can gather with them as they do. They take a little boy, a little girl, dress them up like Radha and Krishna, and then they have bhajans for them, make them dance, feed them. Hey, it's so wonderful. So this cultural aspect of the pastime, so it's very rich in Vrindavan still. So this singing of Krishna's glories. So Mother Yashoda, gradually she sings, and there's a description of also of her bangles making ching, ching, ching. So the acharyas tell us this is the original cartel sound. So she got cartels and she's singing thus, and more grinding mortar is making the dub dub sound of the mridanga. Hey, Harinam is going on. So it's a wonderful way to remember Krishna by singing his glories. So we can always remember Krishna in that way, just by seeing what did he do, what's his activities. And he's saying that in Gita as well. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tato mam tatvato gyatva visanam tatanantaram. He says, if you just take the time to understand my janma and karma, which are divyam, divine. So understand how I was born and my karma and the activities that I did after that, which are divine activities. Then tyakva punna janma naiti. You don't take another birth. Mamaiti so Arjuna, you come to me. So it's a beautiful way to remember Krishna. It was formerly a custom that if one wanted to remember something constantly, he would transform it into poetry or have this done by a professional poet. So this is how drama starts, because from poetry, drama, these are all the Nata Shastras, the dealing with drama. So if you wanted to remember something, they would put it into poetry. Just see how they would remember. Rhyme it and mime it and use it in drama. And by that way, nobody will forget, because everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know, how's your son? How is your daughter? First thing they will ask, because they want to know what are the activities they're going on, what is it going on. So naturally, if you put that into Leela, into pastimes, it becomes very relishable. So it goes on to say, it appears that Mother Yashoda did not want to forget Krishna's activities at any time. She wants to always remember. You must remember, Krishna is not always with the devotees, whichever devotees they are. The gopis, he can only meet them at night. And the rest of the devotees, he only meets them during the day. Mother Yashoda and the cowherd boys. So some separation needs to be there. This is two aspects of our philosophy. Vipralamba and Sambhog. Meeting and separation. So if there is no separation, then how do you hanker for the next time? So that separation must be there. So for the gopis, their separation is during the day when they can't see Krishna, can't be with Krishna. And they're remembering how they'll be able to dance in the Ras Leela at night. And with Mother Yashoda and the Gopas, their separation is during the night, and they relishing that during the day they can be with Krishna. So some separation must be there. But all the time, when they're with Krishna, they're relishing. When they're not with Krishna, they're remembering. Smaranam. Therefore, it's important that we also develop this aspect of remembering Krishna in his activities, because even in the perfected state, it's also there. It goes on to say, therefore she poeticized all of Krishna's childhood activities, such as the killing of Putana, Agasur, Shakatasur and Trinivarta. And while churning the butter, she sang about these activities in poetical form. So a very wonderful way to remember Krishna's activities. She remembered all these demons had come and my son had killed all of them. So she made it into beautiful poetry, beautiful poems. And those poems are what we use as Shastra today. This is what we use as scripture today. So it goes on to say, this should be the practice of persons eager to remain Krishna conscious 24 hours a day. So you see how you can remain 24 hours a day remembering Krishna is just when you are in contact with Krishna through deity worship or devotional service, then you're directly with Krishna. And when you're not, then you're remembering Krishna. So it's Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Shravanam is you hear, Kirtanam is you repeat those songs, and Vishnu Smaranam, and then you remember them. So what a wonderful practice in Braj. They all are absorbed in remembering Krishna through his songs, pastimes. That's why it's described in Brahma Samhita that this land is such a sacred land where every word is a song. That's why it's described. Bhagavad Gita, it's a song of God. Because when they speak, it's songs, it's poetry. This is the amazing culture and language of Vrindavan. This incident shows how Krishna conscious Mother Yashoda was. So if you want to have a barometer of Krishna consciousness, this is a good one, where one can see how to be Krishna conscious all the time. When you're serving directly, so you're conscious of what you're doing. And when you're not serving directly, you're remembering. This is what he used to do. And things around would also enhance that. These little shoes, or we'll see further the butter marks from his footprints. Different things that bring out more of the remembrance in the absence of the physical person, which enhance the Leela. He goes on to say, to stay in Krishna consciousness, we should follow such persons. So Prabhupada is saying, if you want to stay, it's not going to be easy. Drita Vrata, Krishna is saying Drita Vrata with great determination. Satatam kirtayanto mam yetantascha drita vrata. They're doing these activities but with determination. Because we need determination here in this material world until it becomes love, which is second nature then. So Prabhupada is hinting here also that we should follow such persons. So in this particular Leela, we're getting a very vivid description of the Vatsalya Ras, the 5 rasas that are there, prominent rasas, 7 secondary rasas. This is given in Nectar of Devotion. So of the 5 primary rasas, so Vatsalya Ras is a very prominent rasa. And this is the embodiment of that is Mother Yashoda. So we see how every part of her being is Vatsalya Ras, is parental love towards Krishna, everything about her. So it's not necessarily the form. This is an important point, that in loving Krishna, it's not necessary. It's not that the gopis take that form because they like it, and Mother Yashoda takes this form because she likes it. No, it's because those forms bring out that rasa in its best way, in the highest way. So, Mother Yashoda, as a mother of Krishna, her form, the way she's built, the colors that she wears, the way she dresses, her activities, all of those things bring out that motherly Vatsalya Ras in a very beautiful way. So form is there in the spiritual world, and we all have our eternal relationship. That's why Prabhupada also says in the next verse that if we want to develop this motherly relationship towards Krishna, so many of the devotees in the Gujarati community, the Vallabha Sampradaya, they worship, they love Bal Gopal, baby Ladu Gopal, baby Krishna, Ladu. Feed him Ladu, make him nice and fat. So that is their exchange with Krishna. They'll even, just like a baby in the house, that's how they treat him. So it's not about the form, it's about the bhav, the mood. But because the mood is so intense, the form takes the shape of that. The form that they have takes the shape of that mood to bring out that bhav in the highest way. It's a very deep point to meditate on and appreciate about the different pastimes. Then that's why Prabhupada is saying, if you feel your inclination towards the 5 rasas and you like the Vatsalya Ras, and that's more in your sthai bhav or your inclination, then this is the person you should follow. Follow Mother Yashoda and see how she's serving Krishna. And in your perfection, you'll become one of the maids serving Krishna in the Vatsalya Ras in Vrindavan Dham. So this is a beautiful way to appreciate that. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed our discussion today. Please have a beautiful Kartik day, and please don't forget to offer your lamp and do something special for Krishna during this month of Kartik. Hare Krishna.